South Dakota State men's basketball team stole one away from the Summit League leading St. Thomas Tommies to stay alive in the Summit League race here on the First Bank & Trust Arena floor a week ago. Tonight, the Jackrabbits are back at home hosting the top team in the conference again, this time the 16-10 Omaha Mavericks. And a good evening to you. I'm Braden Byers, joining you from the media section in section 210, high atop First Bank & Trust Arena for a key Summit League showdown here tonight. Well, the Jackrabbits got hot from the field, shooting 66% in the second half to pull away from the Tommies exactly 7 days ago in an emotional, high-energy 102-86 win in Brookings. The Jackrabbits, trailing 42-41 at the half, started out strong in the second, scoring the first 4 points of the half. After St. Thomas tied the score up twice, a Matthew Moore's layup put SDSU up 52-50, and the Jacks never allowed the Tommies to tie or lead again. Owen Larson, Joe Seiler, Kalen Gary, Matthew Moores, and Damon Wilkinson all scored in double digits, with Larson hanging 22 points in the game. The Jacks moved to 16-9 on the year and 7-3 in conference play, and they sit at third in the Summit League standings tonight. As for the Omaha Mavericks, their full title, the University of Nebraska Omaha, you may hear me refer to them as UNO at times throughout the night. They're a public research university located in Omaha, Nebraska, with an enrollment of just under 15,000. The Mavericks are 16-10 on the year and have a 10-1 record in the Summit League, with their only conference loss being a slip-up on the road in Vermillion to the USD Coyotes. They sit at number 1 in the league standings in their 13th year in the Summit, after previously being in the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association and the Old North Central Conference when they were Division II. We'll go ahead and step aside for the first time tonight. We're about 6.5 minutes from getting the pregame festivities started here at First Bank & Trust Arena for, again, a key Summit League matchup. It's a big one tonight, folks, here in Brookings. We'll step aside again. You're listening to Jackrabbit Basketball on Collegian Sports.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings PowerQuest. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. PowerQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7. This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by D.O. Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brookings, South Dakota, D.O. is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trek and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. D.O. is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
We welcome you back into First Bank and Trust Arena. It's starting to fill out here. This is a big one in the Summit League tonight as the league leading Omaha Mavericks are in town to take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, the homestanding Jackrabbits here today. As I mentioned, it's expected to be a pretty full crowd here. It's supposed to be a really good game, and people are showing up here for this one. We're about 3 minutes left until we get the pregame festivities started. Let's take a look at the Summit League standings as they sit before tonight's action. I've mentioned Omaha. They're 10-1 in league play. They're at number 1. St. Thomas right behind them. The Jackrabbits beat them on the home court here just a week ago. They are at 9-2. The Jackrabbits themselves at 7-3. And right behind them, the USD Coyotes, who the Jacks will go on the road to play on Saturday as part of the Interstate Series rivalry series. Then North Dakota State after that, 6-5. Kansas City following up along with North Dakota, both at 3-8. And at 2-8, Oral Roberts. And at 2-9, the Denver Pioneers to round out the Summit League standings. So with that, let's take a look at the Summit League scoreboard here for tonight, keeping you up to date with everything happening in the Summit League. 3 games tipping off at 7 o'clock tonight. South Dakota hosting Kansas City. Of course, this one between SDSU and Omaha, and North Dakota playing Denver at 7 o'clock as well. And at 8 o'clock, this one nationally televised on CBS Sports Network up in Fargo, the Bison hosting Oral Roberts in a matchup there tonight in frigid Fargo. It's cold here, but it's colder up there. I can guarantee it, being a North Dakota native. Just a little bit of time till we get this one started here, as we go over a few of the notes here for these two teams. One player to look out for SDSU always, as always, Oscar Clough being named to the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award watch list as one of the top 10 centers in the nation. Of course, Brooklyn Meyer also being named one of the top 10 centers in the nation on the women's side as well. So to have 2 athletes from Brookings and South Dakota State, a big accomplishment there for both basketball teams, and obviously in their own right for Brooklyn Meyer and Oscar Clough. Well, both teams finishing up their warm-ups here at First Bank and Trust Arena. We're high atop this arena here, get a good view of the crowd, and it is going to be full here tonight. The student section is packed off to the left side of the court. And again, we're glad to have you along with us here on Collegiate Sports. Let's step aside. On the other side of things, we will have the starting lineup for you, as well as the introduction of officials and tip-off here between the Jackrabbits and the Mavericks on a chilly Thursday evening in Brookings. We'll step aside once again. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on Collegiate Sports.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners. Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Get hurt. Get hurt. Get hurt. Get hurt in the get.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Greetings, basketball fans. I'm Braden Byers, and this is Jackrabbit Basketball. Tonight, the men's team hosts the league-leading Omaha Mavericks. So settle in for college hoops action between the Jackrabbits and Mavericks live on Collegiate Sports. As they go through the starting lineups here tonight, we'll go ahead and do the same. Starting off with the visiting Omaha Mavericks, a 6'2" senior guard from Lawrenceville, Georgia, number 1, J.J. White, a 6'9" senior forward from Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 10, Markel Sutton, a 6'8" junior forward from Chicago, Illinois, number 22, Cameron Thomas, a 6'8" senior center from Kishasa Congo, number 24 Isaac Onanke, and 6'2" junior guard, wearing number 32 from Fairfax, Missouri, number 32 Tony Osborne. The Mavericks coached by Chris Crutchfield, associate head coach Kyan Brown, and assistants Warren Niles, Keenan Holdman, Josh Crutchfield, and Brant Denals. For South Dakota State, they will go with the 6'2" freshman guard from Esterville, Iowa, number 1 Owen Larson. A 6'3" redshirt freshman guard from White River, South Dakota, Joe Seiler. A 6'3" sophomore guard from DeSmet, South Dakota, number 10 Kalen Gary. A 6'7" junior forward wearing number 11 from Yankton, South Dakota, Matthew Moores. A 6'11" senior center from the Sunshine Coast of Australia, number 45, Oscar Clough. The Jackrabbits coached by Eric Henderson, associate head coach Rob Klinkafus, and assistants Brian Peterson, Trammell Barnes, Billy Brown, and Tucker Wookie. South Dakota State being introduced down on the floor here tonight. Got new white uniforms here, specialty uniforms. A minimalist kind of look, not much other than white on them. They've got white numerals on the front and back, Jackrabbits across the back, and SDSU across the front. As the starting lineups are out of the way, again, we'll run through them really quick. For the Mavericks, J.J. White, Markel Sutton, Cameron Thomas, Tony Osborne, and Isaac Ondekanye. For the Jackrabbits, Owen Larson, Joe Seiler, Kalen Gary, Matthew Moores, and Oscar Clough. The officials tonight, John Floyd, Amy Bonner, and Mike O'Neill. The Mavericks will be wearing their away black uniforms. White numerals on the front and back. The last name in white on the top of the back and across the chest, Omaha, in big block lettering. Red accents throughout. The lights are up here and we are set for Summit League basketball action here tonight. Getting set to tip it off is going to be Oscar Clough and Markel Sutton. John Floyd will do the honors. Bounces the basketball once, blows the whistle. The ball is up in the air, tapped away by Sutton, straight out of bounds on the near sideline. And that's how we'll get things started. 3 seconds in, 19:57 left to go, and the Jackrabbits will have the basketball. Matthew Moores will inbound it on the near sideline. We'll get it into the backcourt. Into Larson. He'll dribble it up, give it over to Moores. On the high left side is Gary. Back to Moores, gives it down low to Clough. He's underneath the basket, will dribble out of it on the right elbow. Backing down low, inside the lane, putting up a shot, not able to get it to go, gets his own rebound, puts it back up, and it'll go out of bounds off of the end line to the left. 19:41 left to go. We're just underway here in the first quarter. 0-0 the score between SDSU and Omaha. Jackrabbits will keep the ball here. Larson inbounds it up top to Moores. Off behind him to Seiler, inside the arc to Clough. Bounces and hands off behind him to Seiler. He's in the right wing. Now in a fadeaway for Seiler. That one will rim off, and then going high for the rebound is Thomas. Coming back the other way is the Omaha Mavericks. White gives it over on the high right side to Thomas. Back to Sutton. On the left side, a bounce from Osborne. He'll get it down low now to Thomas. Backing down on the left low block, puts it up, and the shot's going to be no good. Going to be tapped out by Clough. And coming back the other way is Owen Larson. Down the right side of the lane, scooping it up and in is Owen Larson. And he'll get the scoring started here tonight for the Jackrabbits with 2 points. 2-0 the score, 18:56 and counting left to play in the first half. On the other side, White at the top gives it over on the left side. That's going to be Osborne with a three, no good. Clough will get the rebound there, outlets it now to Gary. He'll dribble it up the near sideline, gets it up to the point. Will Gary sets around a screen from Clough, gets down low inside the lane. Now gives it into Clough, who pulled up from basically the free throw line, tried to get a hook shot in there, and that's no good. Omaha coming back the other way, handing it off behind him. Osborne will get it off on the right side to White. J.J. White has it as we get closer to 18 minutes left to play in the first half. Almost 2 minutes gone. Bouncing down low. That's going to be some contact in the middle. And Ondekanye going to draw the foul from Oscar Clough. Ondekanye will be at the line now. The first foul of the first half for South Dakota State, as the first one is missed there from Ondekanye. 2-0 Jackrabbit lead, 18-13 left to play in the first half. Ondekanye with the second, and he knocks that down. Will cut the deficit in half. 2-1 the score, 18-10. Now dribbled into the forecourt left. It's going to be bouncing down low into the lane, putting up a shot and a whistle and a foul. Oscar Clough was down low. He tried to put it up on the left side.
Number 10, Markel Sutton, his first personal, first team foul on the Mavericks, shooting 2. Number 45, Oscar Clough.
That's going to be a foul there on Sutton, the first on the Mavericks, and the first on Sutton as well. Clough with the free throws here. He knocks down the first one. As I mentioned, Oscar Clough being named to the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award watch list as one of the top 10 centers in the nation. The second is good as well. 4-1 lead for the Jackrabbits here in the early going. 2 minutes gone in the first half. Up the far sideline. It's going to be a dribble from Osborne. We'll get it over on the left to White. Standing on the left side, gets it inside the elbow. Now that's going to be Sutton. Lays up, it reverses it in. It bounces in for 2. Markel Sutton gets onto the scorebook here tonight. 4-3, the score, 17:40 left to play in the first half. Inside on the right elbow is Clough. Will dribble it up. Fakes a hand up behind him to Gary. Bounces it to Gary, cutting down the right baseline. Kalen Gary lays it up and in for 2, and a 6-3 Jackrabbit lead. They're doubling up the Mavericks here early. Past 17.5 minutes left to play in the first. Trying to get it down low to Ondekanye. It'll go out of bounds on the far sideline. Oscar Clough trying to keep it inbounds. And they say it will go out of bounds off of Ondekanye, and the Jackrabbits will inbound it just in front of their own bench on the far side. Moores will bounce it into the backcourt to Larson, who will dribble it up for SDSU. 6-3 they lead, down to 17:10 left to play in the first half. Spinning around in the lane, fadeaway J from Larson, no good. The cleanup from Clough, that's no good either. He tried to put it back, and Mavericks coming back the other way now. Sutton has it inside, spinning around in the left elbow. On the right elbow, gets it out on the right side. It's going to be Thomas back inside to Sutton. Now back to Thomas on the high left. He'll drive into the lane, gives it out to Sutton. Now the shot clock's down to 10. Inside, a fadeaway from Sutton is no good. That'll bounce off the rim. Fighting for the rebound. In there was Clough and Moores. Also Osborne, but it'll go out of bounds. And they'll say it was off of SDSU, so the Mavericks will retain possession here. They'll get 20 on the shot clock with 16:38 left to play in the first half at a 6-3 Jackrabbit lead here in First Bank and Trust Arena. They'll get it in, and a pump fake and a drive down the right side from Osborne. Spinning around, fade away from Osborne is good. Tony Osborne will get into the scorebook here, 6-5 the score. Now driving on the right baseline, Larson spinning around, gives it up to Seiler on the right side. Gives it up to the point to Clough, who will bounce it once and then hand it off behind him to Larson. Shot clock's down to 12. Larson gets it into Clough on the left side. Seiler for 3. That back irons out, and the rebound will go out of bounds on the end line to the left off of Cameron Thomas. And it'll stay with the Jackrabbits here. Some substitutions come in for SDSU. 16:05 left to play in the first half. 6-5, the Jackrabbit lead. They get it in now. Wilkinson into the game for Clough, who has taken a seat. Gets it up top now. That's going to be Isaac Lindsay for the Jackrabbits. Over on the left side is Larson. Back to Lindsay, and a long three for him is good. He pulled up from a couple steps behind the line, and Isaac Lindsay nails it. 9-5, the SDSU lead here at home. 15:40 left to play in the first half over the Mavericks of Omaha. At the free throw line, a jumper from Osborne is good on the other end to cut the lead back down to 2. 9-7 the score, 15.5 left to play in the first. Larson has it up top, inside at the free throw line, kick out on the right side. Moore's pump fake to 3, he'll drive inside now, he's at the free throw line. Spinning around left side, Lindsay will bounce it down to Wilkinson. Inside the lane, spinning around, Wilkinson will do a hook shot on the left side. Damon Wilkinson lays it up and in for 2, pushes the lead to 11-7. 15:04 left to play. The Jackrabbits have led the entire time so far in this one. We're 5 minutes into the first half here. They get it in on the right low block. That's going to be Osborne. He'll dribble it up now, holding it above his head. Excuse me, that's not Osborne. It's going to be Josh Strite. Inside now, Joshua Strite. We'll get it over to Osborne, and he'll lay it up and in for 2. Osborne's got 6 points in the game so far, 11-9, 14.5 left to play in the first. Bouncing up, it's going to be Lindsay in the lane. He'll lose it down the lane. He'll save it from going out of bounds, and the ball finds its way on the high left to Gary. Inside to Wilkinson, back behind him to Gary. Pulled up for 3, asking for a foul there. That rims off, and coming back the other way, that's going to be Thomas. He put it up. That's no good. The rebound from Sutton. He collects it and will lay it back up and in for 2. That'll tie it up at 11. The first tie since the 0-0 one to start things off as we tick down close to 14 minutes left to play in the first half. Gary has it on the high right side, driving through the lane. A whistle and a foul going to be called there. And a foul going to be called there on Cameron Thomas, the second team foul and the first on Thomas. So timeout on the floor. We're tied at 11 with 14 minutes left to play in the first half. We'll step aside here. You're listening to Jackrabbit men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
Waves, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
They are.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
An 11-11 tie here for South Dakota State against Omaha at home at First Bank and Trust Arena. 14 minutes left to play in the first half. Isaac Lindsay, the leading scorer for the Jackrabbits after the first media timeout here today. He hit a 3 from a couple steps behind the three-point line. Back into the game, Oscar Clough bullying his way down inside the lane. He's not able to get the first shot to go, gets the second, but a whistle and a foul going to be called there. And that's going to be called on Josh Strite, his first, and the third on the Omaha Mavericks here in this one. We're still tied 11-11. Clough trying to break that here with the free throw. That one rattles home, and we'll give him his third point of the night. All three of his points have been on free throws so far. 12-11 the Jackrabbit lead. The second from Clough is good as well. 4 for 4 on the night from the charity stripe is Oscar Clough, the center for this Jackrabbit team. 13:48 and counting left to play in the first half. Omaha has it on the forecourt to the right, spinning around. That's going to be Jay-Sean Glover. Will get it up top now to Strite. Off behind him, it'll be White on the high left side. He pulls up for three. That rims out, and Stoney Hadnot will come down with it for the Jackrabbits. Feeding it up ahead is Gary. Gets deflected off of him. He'll go and retreat it before it goes out of bounds on the far sideline to the scorer's table. Gary in the left baseline now. He was in the elbow. Turns around, gives it up to Lindsay. Trying to cross up there. The ball gets tapped out from Seiler's hands. The shot clock was down to 5. He does get it tapped out. Now going to be brought down inside the lane. Jay-Sean Glover couldn't drive down there. He loses the basketball coming back the other way. Hadnot driving left baseline, putting it up, and a whistle and a foul as some contact underneath the rim there. 13-11 the score. Just past 13 minutes left to play in the first. Lance Waddle is going to be called for the infraction there. The first personal foul for him, the fourth on the Mavericks. And Hadnot will go to the line here for some free throws. The first one going to back iron out for Hadnot. Has not scored a point tonight as Stoney Hadnot. 13-11 the score again. As Owen Larson will come back into the game for this Jackrabbit team. Hadnot averaging 6 points per game. He knocks down the second. They'll give him his first points of the night and a 14-11 score. Waddles will dribble it up the near sideline for the Mavericks. Gets it off behind him to Sutton. High left side, handoff to Glover. Finds its way on the right side to Osborne. Around a screen set by Stride over on the left. Sutton driving through the elbow, putting it up and held on the rim for a second. And the rebound will eventually fall down now to Seiler. Inside the lane, off behind him to Hadnot. He'll go back to the First Bank and Trust Arena logo. On the near side, he'll give it on the high right side now to Clough. Clough spinning around. The left-handed dribble inside the lane, putting it up, and he's not able to finish on that, but great post work there from Oscar Clough. 14-11, we're getting down close to 12 minutes left to play in the first half. Sutton, catch and release three on the right side is no good. Clough will get the rebound, just a little bit taller there than Joe Seiler, and he'll outlet it now behind him to Larson. Past the 12-minute mark at the free throw line. Larson knocks down a jumper there. 4 points for him and a 16-11 lead for the Jackrabbits over the Mavericks here in a key Summit League showdown on a Thursday night, a chilly Thursday night in Brookings, South Dakota. On the left side, Osborne will get it up now to Waddles. On the right side, that's Glover. Down low to Strite, back out to Sutton on the right. He'll try to back down low on Isaac Lindsay for the Jackrabbits inside the lane. Sutton put it up, a block from Lindsay. He swatted it out. The shot clock was down to 2.1. Left to try and get the shot off. And a foul going to be on Isaac Lindsay, the second on the Jackrabbits and the first for Lindsay. A timeout on the floor, 16-11. The Mavericks haven't scored since the last media timeout. We step aside here. You're listening to Jackrabbit Basketball on Collegiate Sports.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings PowerQuest. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. PowerQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7. This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by DO Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brooklyn, South Dakota, DO is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trap and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. DO is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio KSDJ 90.7.
(16 to 11) the lead for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits over the Omaha Mavericks here tonight. Key Summit League matchup happening right here at First Bank and Trust Arena. After the second media timeout, the leading scorer for South Dakota State tied between Owen Larson and Oscar Clough. They both have 4. Clough's points coming off of free throws. Here tonight, 4 points on the other side for Markel Sutton and 6 for Tony Osborne. Markel Sutton will be shooting free throws here after the foul right before the timeout from Isaac Lindsay. That was his first personal and the second for the Jackrabbits. Sutton with the free throw here. He knocks it down. That makes the score 16 to 12, a 4-point lead for the Jackrabbits here in half number 1. Under 11 and a half left to play in this first half. In the second, knockdown for Sutton as well. So White and Thomas will come back in for the Mavericks as the Jacks will inbound it here, and Owen Larson will dribble it up across the half-court logo for SDSU. High left side going to be Wilkinson just inside the arc, off behind him to Seiler at the free throw line, putting up a shot, back irons off, and the rebound falling down to Thomas. He'll bounce it now to Osborne, coming back the other way. The Mavericks clad in black here tonight to White, and on the right side back to Thomas. Block down low. Ondekanye will spin around and put it up, but a whistle and a foul before he can get the basket to go, and the basket won't count. And we'll turn the ball back over to the Jackrabbits. 16-13 left to play. Handoff to Wilkinson. Gives it on the right side to Hadnot. Dribbles up to the top, bouncing it down low to Wilkinson. He's inside the lane now. Will put it up a bit too hard. Goes over the back iron, and it's brought down by Sutton. He'll push the pace here, hand it off behind him to Thomas. Inside the lane now, Thomas spinning around on the Summit League logo inside the painted area. Gives it down low now to Onekanye. Onekanye spinning around, and he'll rattle it home. Isaac Onekanye will get his 3rd point of the night, the first one coming off of a free throw earlier on in the half. 16-15 left to play. Owen Larson on the left side. High left side now will pull up from 3 with Markel Sutton in his face, and Owen Larson knocks it down. 7 points for Larson, the pride of Esterville, Iowa. As we're past the 10-minute mark in the first half. 19-15 now. Off back behind half court, going to be Sutton. Off behind him to White. Over on the right, and a 3 from Osborne is good. Tony Osborne, he has 9 points, a game high 9 points. Larson has it in the forecourt left for the Jackrabbits. Hadnot spinning around, backing down now on Sutton. He'll put it up off glass, and Stoney Hadnot gets his 3rd point of the night, his first field goal as well. He had 1 earlier on in the half off of a free throw. 21-18 the score. Jackrabbits leading. Nice move there from White inside the lane. He spun around and laid it in off the right side. J.J. White gets in on the party here and will get the Mavericks back within 1. 21-20, down to 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Larson stuck up on the near sideline. Will bounce it off behind him to Wilkinson. On the right corner, and a 3 from Hadnot. That's too hard. It'll be brought down off the back iron bounce by Osborne. Gets it across the timeline. Over on the left side now is Sutton spinning around, thinking about a mid-range. He does put it up and gets fouled in the process there. The foul going to be on Hadnot. 3rd team foul for the Jackrabbits, the first personal for Hadnot. And Sutton will be heading to the charity stripe here. Second set of free throws on the night. He knocks down the front end of this one to tie it up at 21. The Mavericks have not led in this game so far. 8:47 left to play, and Markel Sutton, 3 for 3 on free throws, will attempt his fourth here to try and give the Mavericks a lead. And he does just that. 22-21 Maverick lead. Here with 8:47 left to play in the first lead of the night, as I mentioned, for the Mavericks. Larson into the forecourt left, will give it on the left side now to Gary. Onakanye will get called for a foul there. The first on Onakanye, the fifth for the Mavericks, as Gary will get it in now to Larson, and he'll dribble it up to the point. Gives it over on the left to Gary. Step back behind the arc, bounces it inside to Clough. Back inside the lane to Gary, puts it down. The basket's good, and a whistle and a foul. 2 points for Kalen Gary there, and he'll attempt to get 3 the hard way here. And that gives the Jackrabbits the lead again, 23-22, with 8.5 left to play in the first. The free throw from Gary is good. 5 points in the half for Gary, and he gives the Jackrabbits a 2-point lead as we tick past 8.5 left to play. White into the forecourt, hands it off behind him now to Thomas. Back off behind him now is Glover. He'll hand it off to White again. Some contact there. The Jackrabbit faithful wanting a call there. They don't get it on the left side, and a 3 released by Cameron Thomas. And that's good. 25-24, the Mavericks regain the lead here, down to 8 minutes left to play in the first half. Moores on the high right side, tries to get it off to somewhere. Finally will get it above the head of Thomas, back behind him to Gary. He'll drive through the right elbow, spinning around and stopping inside the lane, gets the ball slapped out of his hands. He collects it, gives it up on the left side, and a 3 coming from Jaden Jackson, excuse me. A good shot from him, 27-25. On the other end, a bucket missed there by Glover. Moores will give it up to Clough, and a 3 for him, and he rattles it home. Oscar Clough gets his first field goal of the night, and it's a straightaway 3 to boot. 30-25 the score, 7:10 remaining in the first half. On the other end, White down the lane, putting it up. It hangs on the front of the rim and finally goes down. Past the 7-minute mark in the first half, gets it down low. Clough puts it inside, and that goes down. Oscar Clough's catching fire here. 32-27, the Jackrabbit lead. They've hit all 3 of their last field goal attempts. Now back the other way is Omaha. Glover will get it over on the left side. That's Thomas, and it'll turn it over. And will stop play on the court. 32-27, the Jackrabbits have the lead here, and another timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. You're listening to Jackrabbit Basketball on Collegian Sports.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners. Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
(32-27) lead for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits up over the Omaha Mavericks here tonight. A packed house at First Bank and Trust Arena, and it's been a good one so far here. Oscar Clough catching some heat here late in the first half. He's got 9 points in this one, and he just got a three-pointer straight away just a moment ago. Jackrabbits have it forecourt left, and now Clough inside, just as I mentioned him. Another two-pointer for him. That'll get him to 11. He's got 10 points here tonight and 5 rebounds, officially putting him on double-double watch here with 6:10 left to go in the first. Down low, going to be Sutton. Underneath the basket, will turn around and put it up and in for 2. Markel Sutton, he gets 10 points now here in the game. 34-29, SDSU leading. Clough on the left side gets the ball ripped out of his hands. He also falls down to the playing surface there on a whistle and a foul. And that's going to be on Josh Strite, the second for him, and going to be the 7th team foul for the Mavericks. So Clough going to be at the free throw line. The Jackrabbits in the bonus here in the latter half of the first half. 5:49 remaining in the half in a 34-29 lead. Oscar Clough trying to advance it here. And it's good.
Entering the game for the Mavericks, number 24, Isaac Ondekane.
So after the first one, he'll get another one here. 35-29 the score now, just past 6 minutes left to play in the first half. And the second one knocked down as well for Clough. That'll give him 13 points here in the first half already. White dribbles it up. We'll have it on the left side, gives it up to Sutton, who will hand it off to Waddles. Going down low underneath the basket. And in a left corner three, from White is no good, and Clough will get another rebound there. He's got 6 on the night. Down low into the lane. Seiler, fade away. That's no good. Clough will try and tap it out, but it gets brought down by Thomas. He'll outlet it now to White. On the left side, a pump fake from Waddles. He'll get inside the lane, put up a mid-range J. That's no good, and Clough gets another rebound. That'll give him 7, 13.7 rebounds for him. And he's 3 rebounds away from a double-double. And we've got 5 minutes left to play in the first half. 36-29, they get it to Clough at the point. Off behind him to Larson, pulls up for 3, and that's good. Owen Larson with a three-pointer there. He's got 10 points, the second Jackrabbit to reach double digits, and a timeout called here in the first half. 39-29, the Jackrabbits leading by 10. We step aside here for a short break. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to Jackrabbit Basketball on Collegian Sports.
Partners and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States.
Back to action here, 39-29, 4.5 left to play, and Kalen Gary driving in on the left baseline, puts it up and in for two and gets fouled. He'll get an and one opportunity here. And that's going to be 8 team fouls for UNO. And Kalen Gary going to get the shot here. And he knocks it down. He gets 3 the hard way there. The foul, by the way, on J.J. White. 42-29 lead for the Jackrabbits here at home against the league-leading Omaha Mavericks. Down low on the right baseline. That's going to be Sutton. He'll dribble it up now to White on the right side. Back down low to Sutton. Get it up top to Osborne, over to Sutton, and a high right three is no good. That rims out, but the rebound going to fall down to Thomas. He'll spin around trying to put it back up and in. I believe Onakanye gets it in there somehow. And a foul going to be called on Damon Wilkinson, the first for him, and only the 4th team foul for the Jackrabbits here in the first. So the Mavericks going to inbound it on the end line to the right. White will bounce it into Sutton, and he puts it up and in over Hadnot there. 42-31 the score, under 4 minutes left to play in the first. On the high right side, Hadnot hands it off now to Seiler. Inside the lane, gives it on the left to Gary. Inside now, Wilkinson in the lane, putting it up. No good, gets his own rebound, spinning around, puts it up with enough spin on it. It comes around and goes down the hoop. Damon Wilkinson with his second basket of the night. 44-31, 3.5 left to play in the first. Up top, that's going to be Thomas. On the right side, and a 3, that's going to be Sutton. That rims out, and the rebound falling down to Gary. 44-31, again the score, SDSU up over UNO. The ball gets stripped away from Gary. It gets picked up by White. Sending down low, and he'll slam it home, does Markel Sutton on the other side. 44-33, the score now as we tick past 3 minutes left to play in the first. Seiler has it on the left for the Jacks. Will bounce it inside the arc to Wilkinson. On the right side is Hadnot. He'll drive down the lane, spinning around. He'll put it up. That was a nice move from Hadnot, not able to finish it, but Damon Wilkinson is. He'll collect it and put it back up for 2. 46-33 the score now. Down to 2.5 left to play. White on the left side will dribble back out behind the arc. Will hand off behind him, driving down. That's going to be Osborne, who will fall to the hardwood here. A whistle and a foul going to be called as well. It's going to be a foul on Lindsay, his second, the 5th foul for the Jackrabbits, and a timeout here. The final one of the half, the final scheduled one, 46-33. We step aside here. You're listening to Jackrabbit men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This portion
Coming out of the media timeout, 46-33 the score. A foul called on Isaac Lindsay will give free throw opportunities to Tony Osborne here. The first one for Osborne is good. 46-34 the score now with just under 2.5 remaining here. SDSU leading over Omaha. Glad to have you along with us here on Collegiate Sports. I'm Braden Byers in for Ben Anderson here tonight, as the second one is knocked down as well. 46-35, Larson will get it across the timeline to Hadnot. Over on the left side is Gary, bounces it inside to Wilkinson, who will put up a shot. It hits the front of the rim, but some contact there, and a whistle and a foul will be called.
Number 24, Isaac
Onakane called for his second personal foul, the 9th for the Mavericks. And one more, and the Jackrabbits will be in the double bonus. But Wilkinson at the line here will knock down the first. We'll get another one. 47-35 is the score as Coach Henderson looks on here. Again, Omaha, number 1 in the Summit League right now. The Jackrabbits at number 3. Wilkinson knocks down the second. He's got 8 on the night so far. 2:15 left to play in the first. White dribbles it up. Over on the left side is Strite. Getting up top. Over on the right, and a 3 from White is good. J.J. White with a three-pointer there. Gets it back within 10 for the Mavericks. 48-38, the Jackrabbit lead. Under 2 left to play in the first now. Owen Larson has it high left, up to the point, will drive down the lane, kick out on the right. Head fake from Hadnot. He'll drive through, and a travel going to be called there. It was immediately pointed out by Coach Crutchfield for the Mavericks. But the officials saw it too, and looking at the replay, definitely travel there will turn the ball over. 48-38, a 10-point lead for the Jacks, down to 142 remaining. On the left side is White. He has it down the baseline, will lay it in off the baseline drive. Will White. He's all of his points in the latter half of the first half here. Down low, that's going to be Seiler, gets it stolen away. The ball eventually finds its way to White, who will get it across the timeline. The lead's down to 8 for the Jackrabbits here. In the right corner, a 3 from Thomas is good. Cameron Thomas with his second three-pointer of the game. And it's down to a 5-point lead for the Jackrabbits. 60 seconds remaining here, and that's going to be stolen away by Osborne. He'll put it up and lay it in off the right side. Will Osborne, and just like that, the lead down to 3. 48-45, we're under a minute left to play in this one, and a timeout called by SDSU. I believe it's a 30. So we'll just go ahead and keep it right here. Coach Henderson trying to stop the bleeding a little bit here in the last couple minutes of the first half. There's 53.3 seconds remaining. The Jackrabbits, a couple of turnovers there right now. It was a turnover by Owen Larson with 64 seconds remaining. It was stolen away by Tony Osborne, and he laid it up and in for 2. The Mavericks have a 10-0 run over the last minute and 11 seconds. The Jackrabbits also within the past minute and a half has turned the ball over 3 times. All of that culminating together And the Jackrabbits just looking to keep their head above water going into halftime here. 48-45. The Jackrabbits do have the ball, and they'll try and get some momentum back on their side before they go into the locker room. Moores will roll it up. Larson will pick it up at the arc to the in the backcourt. Now he has it in the forecourt left. We'll get it high left side to Gary. He's barking orders here. Now on the left side inside the arc. We'll turn around, looking for somewhere to get it to. He will fire it up top to Larson, who will have it on the right side. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Owen Larson back behind. He pulls up for three. That one will rattle out. Moore's trying to get the rebound there. There was a lot of contact. The Mavericks coming back the other way. Markel Sutton spinning around. The shot clock's off. 20 seconds left to play in the first half. Sutton on the left side elbow. Spinning around on the left side of the lane. Putting it up high off glass, and it's going to be brought down by Oscar Clough. 8 seconds now. On the right side is Seiler. In the right corner, Gary. Step back three. That one will hit the side of the iron. White can't come up with it, and that's how we'll end the first half. So the Jackrabbits are winning 48-45, but a collapse there, and the Mavericks will take a 10-0 run into the halftime break. 48-45, again the score. South Dakota State up over the University of Nebraska Omaha. At halftime here, a clash between two of the Summit League's top three. We'll take a break. On the other side, we'll take a look at the numbers from the first half, get you an update on the Summit League scoreboard, and we'll get you set up for the second half as well. 48-45, the Jackrabbits leading the Mavericks. You're listening to South Dakota State men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
And coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
.45 lead for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits over the Omaha Mavericks here. A battle between two of the top three teams in the Summit League here tonight on a chilly night in Brookings, South Dakota. Time to take a look at the first half stats for you. Start off with Omaha. 3 points for Isaac Onakanye. 6 points for Cameron Thomas. 9 points for J.J. White. 13 points for Tony Osborne. He has 5 of 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, and 2 for 2 on free throws. Also has a rebound thrown in there, and 14 points to lead the way for the Mavericks for Markel Sutton. He is 5 for 10 from the field, 0 for 2 from range, but 4 for 4 at the stripe. 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 1 foul here tonight. As a team, the Mavericks shooting 55% from the field, 4 for 11 from 3 and 7 for 8 at the stripe. 14 team rebounds, 9 assists, 9 fouls there in the first half, and 4 turnovers for UNO. For South Dakota State, 3 points each for Isaac Lindsay, Stoney Hadnot, and Jaden Jackson, 8 points each for Kalen Gary and Damon Wilkinson, and the 2 reaching double digits. Owen Larson, 4 for 6 on shooting, 2 for 3 from three-point range, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 1 turnover in 17 minutes of game time. And Oscar Clough with 13 points, 3 for 7, 1 for 1, and 6 for 6 on the free throw line. 9 rebounds for him. He's 1 rebound shy of a double-double here in this one, 3 assists, and 1 foul there in the first half in 12 minutes of game time. The Jackrabbits shooting 50% from the field, 5 of 10 from 3 and 11 for 12 on free throws. 16 total rebounds, 8 assists, 5 team fouls in the first half, and 5 turnovers as well. The Mavericks, although trailing by 3 points, ended off the first half with a 10-0 run. We'll see how the mojo shakes out here in the second half coming up. We'll take another break. On the other side, we'll get you an update on the Summit League, where things are and the other games happening tonight. Also take a peek in on what's happening on the women's side of Summit League basketball as well. 48-45, South Dakota State leads Omaha here at the half. You're listening to South Dakota State men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. But but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that catch-up.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's 48-45 lead at halftime for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits over the #1 team in the Summit League so far this year. Only one loss happening down south in South Dakota in Vermillion. The Omaha Mavericks coming into First Bank and Trust Arena here tonight. Time to get you caught up on what's happening around the Summit League. All three games that started at 7 are at halftime currently. The other one here tonight being played in the Rushmore State. The USD Coyotes hosting Kansas City, and the Yotes up 38-34 over the Roos at the end of the first half there. Iban Coley leading the way with 12 points and 6 rebounds for KC. For USD, Bullock with 13 points and 4 steals. Also, up in Grand Forks, it's halftime between the Denver Pioneers and North Dakota Fighting Hawks. The Pioneers with a 35-19 lead over the Hawks on the road in Nodak tonight. Atkins for Denver leading the way with 9 points. Trayson Eaglestaff for UND with 8. And tipping off right about now at 8 o'clock is when it's scheduled to tip off in the Shield Center in Fargo. The North Dakota State Bison hosting Oral Roberts. That one on national television tonight on CBS Sports Network. Once again, that one just getting set to tip off here. Let's go ahead and also check in on the women's side of things. The South Dakota State Jackrabbits got a win on the road yesterday against the North Dakota State Bison up in Fargo. No games tonight, though, happening in Summit League women's basketball. A quick rundown of the action from yesterday. The Omaha Mavericks lost at home 105-74 to Oral Roberts. Again, SDSU with a 68-53 win over the Bison last night. St. Thomas taking care of business at home against UND 77-54. And South Dakota hosting Kansas City 63-56, the final score in that one. Once again, score here at halftime, 48-45. We'll step aside for another break. On the other side, we'll have second half action for you. You're listening to South Dakota State men's basketball on Collegian Sports.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings Park West. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. PowerQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7. This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by D.O. Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brookings, South Dakota, D.O. is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trek and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. D.O. is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
(48-45) the lead for South Dakota State over Omaha here tonight. Military Appreciation Night here at First Bank and Trust Arena. The Jackrabbits wearing special home uniforms here tonight. White uniforms with an odd striping down the middle. Blue numerals on the front and back. Jackrabbits across the top of the back and SDSU across the front. They're going to run out with Joe Seiler, Matthew Moores, Kalen Gary, Oscar Clough, and Owen Larson to start things off. For Omaha, again, still in their black uniforms. White numerals on the front and back, names on the top of the back, and Omaha across the chest. They're going to come out with Markel Sutton, J.J. White, Isaac Onakanye, as well as Cameron Thomas and Tony Osborne. The Mavericks will start off the second half with the basketball, and we are underway here. They'll have it in the forecourt to the left here in the second half. Osborne gets it down low to Onakanye. Spinning around inside the lane, putting it up. It'll hang on the rim for a second and then be brought down by Oscar Clough. Clough reaches a double-double with that rebound there. 13 points and 10 rebounds. Here to there, a double-double tonight for Oscar Clough. At the top, Owen Larson pulls up for a three, but a whistle before he could let that one fly, and a foul going to be called there. And a foul called on Clough, his second, and it's going to be the first team foul of the second half here. SDSU only had 5 in the first half. Meanwhile, Omaha had 9. They dribble it up. They have it in the forecourt to the left. Osborne behind him, now to White. He'll get it over on the left side, and a three from Thomas. That one rims out and into the arms of Larson. Larson across the timeline, has it at the top. Gives off behind him to Clough. Down in the right corner is Larson, spinning around, driving the baseline now. He's underneath the basket. Gives it up to Clough on the right side. Moores pulls up, a pump fake once and twice. Off behind him now is going to be Seiler. Shot clock at 6, driving to the rim. Puts it up, but gets fouled in the process. Foul going to be on Onakanye. The first team foul of the second half for the Mavericks. It's going to be Onakanye's third personal. A minute gone here in the second half, 48-45, and the first points of the second half coming off of Joe Seiler's hand, and that's actually his first points of the night. He was 0 for 4 in the first half was Seiler. Attempts the second free throw here, and he knocks that down. So 2 points for him on the night, 50-45, a 5-point lead for South Dakota State. We're under the 19-minute mark now. White has it up top. We'll give it over on the left side now. That's going to be Thomas. Strite, actually. Off behind him to White. Driving through the lane, putting it high off glass. It bounces down, and Seiler will come up with it. Seiler up the far sideline We'll have it on the left side, down to Clough. Inside, running down the lane and laying it in for two, Oscar Clough. He's got 15 points now. Also that 10 rebounds. Strike gives it off behind him to White. He has it, wing left. Gets it inside now to Sutton, spinning around inside the lane. Clough there to stuff him by help of Matthew Moores, and Moores will get the rebound there. Outlet it now to Gary. He has it up at the top. Over to Clough, inside on the right, puts it up a little bit too hard. Moores collects it, tries to put it up. That's no good, and that'll be taken away by White. Outlet up the far sideline to Thomas. Down low is going to be Sutton. That one gets blocked by Moores. Moores will outlet it now to Owen Larson. He'll dribble it up. He has it in the left wing. Standing at the free throw line, now will drive down the right side. Clough gets the rebound, lays it up and in for two. And the Jackrabbits take a 54-45 lead. Some worries about the momentum coming off of the second half, and a timeout gonna be called here in this one. 54-45 the score. It's gonna be a 30 extended to a full, and we'll step aside with it. You're listening to Jackrabbit Men's Basketball on Collegiate Sports.
They are our peddlers and co-workers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
.54-45 lead coming out of the timeout from UNO. 17.5 minutes remaining here in the second half. Glad to have you along with us here on Collegiate Sports. I'm Braden Byers in for Ben Anderson tonight. He will return on Saturday for the Interstate Series game between Jackrabbit women's basketball and Coyote women's basketball. A right side three gonna rattle home there from Tony Osborne. He's got 16 points tonight. A game high 17 points for Oscar Clough. It was the game high till Clough got that basket just before the timeout. They get it in on the right side is Matthew Moores. He's not able to corral it there. It'll go out of bounds, and Markel Sutton will now inbound it in for Omaha. 54-48. Again, the Mavericks ended off the first half with a 10-0 run. You wondered a little bit about the momentum because, again, basketball is a game of runs there, and the Jackrabbits opening it up with a 6-0 run to get things started before the timeout by the Omaha Mavericks. On the high right side is Strite. Hands it off behind him. That's Thomas. And a three from him that hits the back iron off. It'll bounce on top of the backboard, and we'll turn the ball over to South Dakota State. 16:51 left to play in the second. 54-48, the Jackrabbit lead. We're in the second half of this Summit League showdown. On the left side, Seiler bounces it down low to Clough. He's on the left side of the lane, gets double teamed there, kicks it out to Seiler again. He's now down low on the baseline as Seiler spins around, gives it into Clough in the lane, up to Moores behind the arc, and on the right side is going to be Gary. He loses the basketball. It's going to be picked up by Sutton. Coming back the other way, the Omaha Mavericks dumps it off to Stride. On the right side is going to be Thomas. He gives it back up to Sutton. Inside the lane, putting it up. It goes over the basket and into the arms off a deflection from Moores of Oscar Clough. Clough has it down low now, will put it up, and he gets fouled while he tried to put it up. He was trying to spin around and get his arm up in the air, and they're going to say he got him on the arm. Cameron Thomas, the perpetrator there on that one. It's going to be the second team foul on Omaha, and that's going to be the second personal on Thomas. And Oscar Clough will be at the line here. He'll attempt the first, and he makes it. 55-48, the new score. Just over 16 minutes left to play in the second half. Oscar Clough has 18 and 12 rebounds, a double-double for him tonight. The second, that one will rim out. He was perfect on free throws before that. A perfect 7 for 7. Now he's 7 for 8. 16 minutes left to play in the second, 4 minutes gone in the frame. Osborne has it, gives it on the right side, that's Thomas. Over to White, and off behind him now is Strite. Back to Osborne, pulls up with 6 seconds on the shot clock, and he makes it. Osborne, 3 more points for him. He's up to 19, and now he has the game high. 55-51, a 4-point lead for the Jackrabbits. Seiler has it on the left side. Stomping, spinning around on his pivot foot, gives it up top to Larson, back down to Seiler. He's going to drive through inside the lane, putting it up, and a contact there. That's going to be on Josh Strite. They got him on the arm, and he knew it right away. Thought about arguing. He didn't. Third team foul in the second half here for the Mavericks. The third for Josh Strite, and a timeout on the floor, and we'll take it with them. 15-21 left to go. 55-51 the score. Jackrabbits leading here. We step aside. You're listening to Jackrabbit men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
(55-51) the score. 15-21 left to play in the second half. Coming out of the media timeout, Oscar Clough, 18 points, 12 rebounds for the Jacks. 10 points for Owen Larson. 19 points for Tony Osborne. Seiler at the free throw line here, and hits the rim a couple of times but falls down. Seiler did not have a point in the first half. He's got all 3 off of free throws here in the second, and he knocks down the fourth. He's 4 for 4 at the line tonight. 57-51, the score. SDSU up over league-leading Omaha. They defeated league-leading St. Thomas a week ago tonight. That would be back-to-back wins against the top teams in the Summit League if they can pull this off. Down inside the lane, it's going to be Glover. Kick out on the left side. A three from Waddles is no good. Chasing it down is Gary, and he gets it into Stoney Hadnot. Hadnot will outlet it now to Larson. He'll have it on the right side. Gets it down low to Wilkinson, laying it up, and a block off the backboard from Waddles. Wilkinson collects it and puts it back up and in for two. It's 10 points for Wilkinson and a 59-51 lead for the Jackrabbits. Josh Stride has it up top. He'll dribble it a couple of times and hand it off behind him to Glover. Over on the left side, Osborne. He has it at the free throw line, putting it up, and it'll hit off the rim, but a foul going to be called on the shot. It's going to be on Larson. It's going to be his first personal and the second team foul of the second half. And with 14:24 left to play in the second, Tony Osborne will go to the free throw line. Osborne misses that one. He was 2 for 2 before. That makes him 2 for 3. 59-51 remains the score for a moment as Osborne will attempt the second. And he does knock that one down. 59-52, the new score, 14:20 left to play in the second. Jackson will have it up to the top. On the left side now is Gary, back up to Hadnot, and Jackson has it on the right side. Left-handed dribble for him, switches to the right, down low, bounces it to Wilkinson in the lane. Turnaround kick out to Seiler for three, and he knocks it down. Seiler puts the Jacks up by 10 once again, 62-52 the score. On the left side, Waddles driving through the lane, putting up the shot, and a foul called on the drive. Hadnot will get called for the second personal and the third team foul for the Jackrabbits. Once again, they lead it by 10 here with 13:47 left to play in the second. And Lance Waddles will go to the charity stripe here and try to knock down some free throws. He's facing the student section. And the first one bounces on the rim twice before falling through the nylon for his first points of the night. Point, I should say. 62-53, the new score. Again, a reminder, 13:47 left to go in the second half as Waddles adjusts his shorts. We hit the basketball, 3 dribbles and a spin and a free throw, and that one's good. Two for 2 on the trip. He's got 2 points now on the evening. 62-54 the score. 13:47 remains here in the second half between the Jackrabbits and the Mavericks. The Jackrabbits are on top of the Mavericks. Seiler into the front court to Hadnot, off behind him to Gary. He has it on the left side, will dribble back, driving down the lane, stopping, giving it up top. Now that's going to be Jackson. On the right side, Hadnot, down low on the baseline, trying to back down on White. Hadnot hesitates inside the lane, puts it up, the basket's good, whistle and a foul. Stoney Hadnot gets the basket to go and gets fouled in the process. And an and one opportunity here for Hadnot after the foul on J.J. White. And it bounces on the front and back of the rim before falling through the net. 65-54 after the and one conversion for him. That was the 4th team foul, by the way, for Omaha, and the 2nd personal on White. White has it, gives it on the left side to Glover. He's inside the lane now, stopping. He popped a little bit, gives it out on the right side to White. He'll dribble in a little bit, Gives it on the left side and a pump fake to Glover. Down low, spinning around, maneuvering across past Hadnot. He puts it up and down for two. Now that's going to be the third personal on Hadnot. That's going to be the fourth. The layup was good by Jay-Sean Glover. That's his first points of the night. He has 2, and he's looking to make it 3 with this free throw. That back iron's out. Clough will get the rebound there, and his point total stays at 2. The score also stays at 65-56. A foul going to be called on Glover right there. It's going to be his second, the team's 5th of the second half. 65-56 as now Gary inbounds it just in front of the scorer's table. Gets it into Clough. He puts it up, sends it off the backboard, and a blocking foul going to be called there. Down low.
Number 23, Justin Straight, his 4th, 16 foul, shooting 2. Number 45, Oscar Clough.
So Clough going to be at the line after the foul on Strite. That was his 4th, by the way, as Oscar Clough, again, as I mentioned, is at the line. 65-56 the score, under 13 minutes left to play in the second. The first one from Clough is good. Hits around on the rim a couple of times before falling down. 66-56, a 10-point lead for the Jackrabbits over the Omaha Mavericks here tonight. 12:50 remaining in the second. The second free throw from Clough is good, and he makes the lead 11 for the Jackrabbits here at home. Glover will dribble it up for the Mavericks. Gets it on the right side to Sutton. Back behind him to White. A pump fake from him, and he'll stay right at the point. Coming around a screen set by Onakanye. Now down low, White bounces it, trying to get it to Onakanye, and it gets stolen away by Larson. Larson weaving through traffic, will turn around, gives it up to Clough, and a pump fake from him. Over on the right, Larson pulls up for 3, and he knocks it home. Owen Larson has 13 on the night. He pulled up from 3 on the left side and gives the Jackrabbits a 70-56 lead. On the left side now is Waddles. Will hand it off behind him to Glover. Up at the top. We'll give it down low. Larson almost tapped it away. Goes into the hands of Waddles. Driving through. Puts up the shot. No good. Onakanye fell onto the floor. No whistle. And the Jackrabbits will have the basketball as we play on. 11:50 remaining here. Larson will take one dribble inside the arc. Will turn and give it off to Gary. He's standing far behind the three-point line. Now over to Moores on the left. Jackson on the left. And down low into the elbow to Clough. Left side elbow. Will try and get it in the right corner to Larson, and that gets intercepted out of the air by Glover. He'll give it up to Sutton. Waddles in the right corner for a 3. That rims out, and the rebound down to Clough. 70-56 the score. Jackrabbits leading over Omaha. Larson gets it across half court. Takes a couple of dribbles. Now pulls up from 3 from a long way down, and that's no good. Waddles will bring it up for the Mavericks. Fires it up ahead to Glover for 3. That's no good either. Jackson bounces it on the far sideline to Gary. He's on the left, and he pulls up for 3. That bounces high into the air. A fight for the rebound as Sutton will come up with it on the near sideline. He's spinning around as Onakanye fell down to the ground, and he didn't even get across half court before the whistle blew there. That was a foul on Larson. That's going to be his second, the 5th team foul for the Jackrabbits, and there's a timeout on the floor. 70-56 the score with 10.5 remaining here in the second half. Glad to have you along with us. This is Jackrabbit basketball on Collegiate Sports.
Don't you wish your wife came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss. by mistake.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that catch-up.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Score 70-56. The South Dakota State Jackrabbits leading over the University of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks. 10.5 minutes left to play in the second half of this one. Oscar Clough tied for a game high 20 points, along with Tony Osborne. For the Mavericks, both teams leading their respective sides. 13 points for Owen Larson, as well as 10 points for Damon Wilkinson. So the post players here for SDSU tonight eating in this game. 14 points as well for Markel Sutton. And J.J. White just on the outside, he has 9. An update on the scoring for you as both teams will get back out onto the court here. Before we left, there was a foul called, and Markel Sutton will go to the line here to try and get the Mavericks at least 2 points closer here. The first one gonna hit the front and the back and fall down for a point, 70-57. Sutton trying to get the lead back down to 12 here, and he does. 70-58. We're under 10.5 left to play now in the second. Moores has it, forecourt right for the Jackrabbits. Up top to Larson on the left side. Seiler bounces it inside to Clough. Backing down on the left side of the lane. Turns around, gives it out. And a 3 from Larson rattles home. 16 points for him. He's got 4 3-pointers on the night. 73-58, the Jackrabbits leading. Sutton on the right side, handing off to White. Stepping back. Going to give it up top now to Osborne. On the left is Thomas. Back up top, Osborne, a dribble, and a 3 from him is no good. Onakanye will get the rebound and puts it back up for 2. 73-60 the score now, 13-point lead for the Jackrabbits. SDSU have hit 5 of their last 7 shot attempts. Down low, Larson kicking out. Seiler on the left side, thought about a 3, will drive inside instead, and a whistle and a foul going to be called on Cameron Thomas, his 3rd personal and the 7th foul for the Mavericks. Jackrabbits in the bonus here, so Seiler will go ahead and take another trip to the free throw line. He knocks down the first, so he'll get an opportunity for a second. 74-60 the score. 9:23 remaining in the second half, and the second for Seiler is good. Seiler, the native of White River, South Dakota. 75-60 the score. 15-point lead for the Jackrabbits here. Sutton has it up top, a right-handed dribble. Hands it off behind him to White, and a foul called away from the basketball. Coach Crutchfield out onto the court. He's upset at the officials, and he's arguing and protesting here with Amy Bonner. Student section's calling for a tee. Not sure that he'll get it here. as Moores will inbound it into Larson. Seiler has it on the far sideline, up at the top, driving through the lane, spinning around, fade away at the free throw line, and that's good. Seiler has gone on fire here in the second half. He didn't have any points in the first. He's up to 11 now, and the Jackrabbits up to a 17-point lead. On the left side, driving in Thomas. On the left baseline, puts it up and in for two. 77-62 the score now. Larson gets it across the timeline now, gets it into Clough. Backing down, and hook shot over Onakanye. Oscar Clough with 2 more points. He's got 22 on the night. 79-62, 8:20 left to play in the second half. Left side, Sutton pulls up for 3. That hits the back iron, high into the air, and Clough will get another rebound. 22 points, 15 rebounds. Already had a double-double from right at the beginning of the second half, and he's just adding on here. He's up to 5 assists, too, so if he passes the ball around a little bit, might get some assists there as well. Larson inside. Shot clock's at 6. Gets it out to Moores. He pulls up for 3. That back irons off and into the arms of Osborne. Back the other way for the Mavericks. Osborne inside the lane. Gets it on the left. And a catch and release 3 from White, is good. J.J. White, 79-65, 7.5 left to play in the second half. Owen Larson dribbles it up across the line, down the lane, and he lays it in off the glass. 18 points for Owen Larson, 81-65 the score for SDSU over Omaha. Sutton has it on the high left, gets it into the point, loses the basketball, falls down to the floor, and a foul going to be called here. 81-65, under 7 minutes remaining here in the second half. That's going to be a foul on Moores, his first, the 6th for the team in the second, and a timeout on the court. 81-65, Jackrabbit lead. We step aside here. You're listening to Jackrabbit men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
(81-65) the score. South Dakota State up on top of Omaha here. Just under 7 minutes left to play in the second half of this one. Omaha, the league leaders in the Summit League, heading into tonight. St. Thomas not in action tonight, so they are idle. They will stay right where they are in terms of the Summit League, but if the Jackrabbits win tonight, they move to 8-3 on the year, and Omaha will drop down to 9-2 again, locking them up pretty much.
Substitution number 11, Matthew Moore.
couple of seconds in, they're just going to the Mavericks inbound it, forecourt to the left here. White will get it up to the top. Over on the left side, and a three from him. That rims out. Sutton gets the rebound. He turns around, puts it up and in for two more. And Sutton has 18 on the night. 5 rebounds for him as well. On the left side, Seiler down low. That's going to be Moores. Spinning around underneath the basket. Fadeaway J from him as Matthew Moores gets into the party here tonight with 2 points of his own. 83-67. Basketball going to be picked up by Osborne. Now back at half court is going to be Sutton. Hands off behind him now to Glover. He's on the left, spinning around inside the lane, spinning again at the free throw line, putting it up and down for 2, and a foul called there. So the foul going to be on Hadnot. Glover had an and one opportunity earlier on in the half. He's got a second one here. 83-69 the score. Just over 6 minutes left to play in the second. The first, well, the only from Glover, and it misses. So both and one opportunities not converted by Jay-Sean Glover here tonight. Seiler driving down the lane, scooping it and laying it in on the right side. Seiler with 2 more points. He's got 13, all in this half. A shot coming from Glover, that's no good, and is brought down by Seiler. 13 points and 3 rebounds for him. He has it down low, gives it up top now to Gary. Inside the lane, he almost jammed it home on the left side, and it missed. 85-69, he couldn't quite get it in there. It rimmed out and going to be brought down, and on the other side, Waddles hits a 3 for Omaha. 85-72 the score, 5:17 left to play in the second. And that would have been an electric play for Joe Seiler. Excuse me, Kalen Gary. Moores to inbound it for the Jacks. He gets it in now to Jackson. Stuck in the backcourt, tough defense from Omaha, gets it across the timeline up to Seiler on the near sideline. Down close to 5 minutes remaining in the second. Seiler has it up at the top, spinning around, looking to dump it off, gives it up top to Gary. Down the lane, putting it up off the glass, he almost got it to go. He falls down on the floor and a foul called.
Foul at number 7, Lance Waddles. His second, 19 foul.
So Waddles gets called for his second, and that's going to be the 9th team foul on Omaha here. One more, and that'll put the Jacks into the double bonus for now. Gary going to shoot it here. That foul was in the act of shooting, so he gets 2 here. 85-72. Just under 5 minutes left to play in the second. The second free throw is no good either. He misses both on that one, and his point total stays at 8. 85-72 the score. Grant Suttlefield gets it off behind him now to Osborne. Osborne driving through on the left side elbow, kicks it out. Suttlefield on the right for 3, overshoots the basket. It goes off of the hands. I believe Moores tried to get it, or maybe that was Hadnot. And it'll go out of bounds, and Osborne will, and the Mavericks will retain possession. Yep, it went right into the hands of Hadnot. He wasn't ready for it. Inbound, Osborne on the left corner and a 3. That's no good, and Hadnot will come up with it. Past 4.5 left to play in the second. 85-72 as Joe Seiler will dribble it across half court. Up at the top, off behind him now Gary. He dribbles off to the left side now. Gary spinning around at the free throw line, bounces it once, puts up a shot, and he knocks it down. That gets him to 10 points. 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist for Kalen Gary. On the other end, Markel Sutton lays it up and in for 2. Sutton, he's got 20. 5 rebounds and 2 assists, and a timeout by Omaha. 87-74, just under 4 minutes left to play. And we'll step aside with them. You're listening to South Dakota State men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
My name is Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Back here in Brookings for the finish of this one. 87-74, the Jackrabbit lead, with 3:57 left to play in the second half. Had not, will get it in now to Larson, who will dribble it up for the Jackrabbits. Over on the left side, Gary into the elbow now, spinning around, and dumps it off to Seiler. Up to Clough, back behind him to Seiler, and a three is good. Three and a half left to play in the second, and a 90-74 lead for the Jackrabbits. Waddles on the other end for the Mavericks loses the basketball, but a whistle and a foul called there. I'm going to say it's on Gary. That's his first personal. It's going to be the 8th foul of the second half here. The crowd doesn't like the call off of seeing the replay on the video board here. The brand new video board at the brand new First Bank and Trust Arena. Waddles will be at the free throw line. And he knocks down the first. Does Lance Waddles. 3:24 remains, 90-75 the score now. The second coming from Waddles is good. 4 for 4 on the night. He also has a three-pointer mixed in there to give him 7 points to match his jersey number. On the near sideline, a whistle and a foul called. It's going to be on Kamani Cooper, who's in the game for the Mavericks, his first and the team's 10th. So double bonus for the Jackrabbits. That means 2 free throws from here on out as Kalen Gary back at the charity stripe here tonight. He knocks it down, 91-76 the score. It's going to be the 6th free throw he attempts tonight, and he makes it. That'll make him 4 for 6, 92-76. The Mavericks have it, forecourt to the left. Sutton now has it inside the arc at the free throw line, puts it up, it hits off the back iron and brought down by Gary. That goes off of his feet and gets picked up by Stubblefield. And he puts it up and in. Stubblefield with his first points of the night. We'll get it in now. Gary up to Hadnot. And a right corner three from Seiler. He knocks it down. Joe Seiler, 19 points all in the second half, and the Jackrabbits a 95-78 lead. Waddles on the other end answers with a quick three-pointer of his own. And a timeout called here with 2:37 remaining in the second half. A timeout called by the Mavericks. And we'll step aside. 2:37 remaining, 95-81, the Jackrabbit lead. You're listening to South Dakota State men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings PowerQuest. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. PowerQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
The Jackrabbits are looking to finish this one out. 95-81 the score with 2:37 remaining in the second half of this one. An update nearing halftime up in Fargo, 40-39 the score. Oral Roberts leading by 1 point over NDSU. Tonight, again, that one, the nightcap really, that's tipped off at 8 o'clock. And the rest are all late in the second half. At Kansas City versus USD and Denver versus UND. We'll give you the final scores of those in our post-game report tonight. 2:35 and counting as Kalen Gary will dribble it up the court for the Jackrabbits. Gets it into the forecourt to the right for the yellow and blue. Spinning around and give it up top now. And a big three coming. That's going to hit the side of the rim from Seiler. And on the rebound, a foul called. Pablo Samare gets called. And a double bonus for the Jackrabbits, so Oscar Clough again at the free throw line here. That misses there. He's not able to get it to go, and you can hear Clough becoming a fan favorite here. They want everything to go for him. 22 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists for him tonight. He knocks down the second, so make that 23 points. 2:15 left to play in this one for the Mavericks. Waddles has it, pulls up for three. That rims out. Glover gets the rebound, spinning around, and will put it out of bounds off of Clough's chest. So the Mavericks will retain possession with 18 on the shot clock and 2:07 remaining here. 96-81 the score. They get it in. Sumare gives it up to Waddles. Now up at the top, that's going to be Cooper. Cooper on the right side into Glover. Fade away from him, and he knocks it down the mid-range jumper. 96-83 now, $1:50 left to play in the second half. Kalen Gary up the near sideline. Spinning around on the right wing. Gives up top to Clough. One dribble, then he gives it to Hadnot at the top. Thought about driving the lane, hands off behind him to Seiler instead. Larson on the left, down low to Clough now on the left side. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Oscar Clough lays it up and in for two. 2 more points for Oscar Clough here tonight. He's at 25 and 15. And now the host of substitutions will come in for the Jackrabbits. 125 and a standing ovation for the starters for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. 1:20 left to play, 98-83 the score. Backing down now, that's going to be Sumare. He will get the ball. Swatted away from behind, Damon Wilkinson the score. As the fans begin to hit the exits here. A fantastic crowd here tonight. Jackson gets it to Barnhart. Nate Barnhart into the game. Also back over to Stoney Hadnot. Lindsay down low will give it on the right side to Jackson. Screen set by Wilkinson. Now Jackson driving the baseline. Up top, Lindsay. Pump fake to three. Gives it over to Hadnot on the left for three. That rims out, no good. 98-83, under a minute left to play now. The Mavericks have it coming up the court is Suttlefield. Gives it up to Sumare. He has it down low, gives it over to Waddles in the left corner. Backing down low, trying to spin around on the right side of the lane, putting it up. No good, but the ball falling into the arms of Glover. Step back, short range from him, and Glover going to put it up again after getting the rebound. That's no good either. 98-83, still the score, 28.4 left to play. And the fans chanting, "We want wings" here. If they miss two, they could get it. And Jay Sean Glover crushes the dreams of the fans that wanted chicken here tonight. 98-84 the score. He makes the first free throw here. And the second one as well. So it wouldn't have mattered if he missed the first and made the second anyway. 2 points shy of 100 are the Jackrabbits. Shot clock's off, so they're just going to dribble it out here. Jaden Jackson will do the honors. Omaha is waving the white flag, and South Dakota State will get the win here tonight. 98-85. They'll advance to 17-9 on the year, and 8-3 in the Summit League. Omaha will fall to 16-11 on the year, and 10-2 in the Summit League, with both of those conference losses happening in the state of South Dakota. As the school song, the yellow and blue, plays in the background, the two teams shake hands in front of the scorer's table at the conclusion of tonight's Summit League showdown. 98-85 the score. We'll step aside. On the other side, we'll have a look at the official numbers for you, get you updated on the Summit League scoreboard, as well as let you know what's coming up here on Collegiate Sports in the next couple of days, including South Dakota State women's basketball. Again, the final score, 98-85. The Jackrabbits win it over the league-leading Omaha Mavericks. That makes their second win over a league-leading team in back-to-back games. We'll be back after this. You're listening to South Dakota State men's basketball on Collegiate Sports.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
"98-85, the final score for South Dakota State men's basketball. They take down the #1 Omaha Mavericks. 98-85, again, the final score for this basketball game tonight here in First Bank and Trust Arena. Let's go ahead and dive into the official numbers here tonight. Start off with Omaha. 2 points here for Grant Suttlefield. 5 points for Isaac Onakanye. 8 points each for Cameron Thomas, as well as Jay-Sean Glover. And 4 players in double digits for the Mavericks tonight. 10 points for Lance Waddles, 2 for 8 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and 4 for 4 on free throws, 2 rebounds, and 2 fouls in 16 minutes of game time for him. A really efficient 16 minutes if he can score 10 points in that time. As well as 12 points for J.J. White, 5 for 10 from the field, 2 for 6 on 3, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers in 32 minutes. And 20 points each for Markel Sutton and Tony Osborne. Sutton shooting 7 for 17, 0 for 3 from 3, and 6 for 6 at the charity stripe on the night. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 foul in 34 minutes. Tony Osborne, 7 of 11 from the field, 3 for 7 on three-pointers, and 3 for 4 on free throws, as well as 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 foul, and 1 turnover in 29 minutes. As a team, the Mavericks shot 46%, 9 for 27 on 3, and 16 for 20 on free throws. For South Dakota State, Matthew Moores had 2 points, Isaac Lindsay with 3, Jaden Jackson with 3 as well, and 6 for Stoney Hadnot. 5 players for South Dakota State reaching double digits. Damon Wilkinson had 10. He was 4 for 7 shooting, 2 for 2 on free throws, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 personal fouls in 12 minutes for Wilkinson, as an auction for these military appreciation special edition jerseys happening down on the court here at First Bank and Trust Arena. Owen Larson at 18, 7 for 11, 4 for 6 from 3, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 fouls, 1 turnover in 32 minutes. 12 points for Kalen Gary, 4 for 8, 0 for 3, 4 for 6, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 personal foul, 4 turnovers in 32 for Gary. 19, Joe Seiler, 5 for 10 on the night, 3 for 5 from 3, 6 for 6 on free throws, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers in 31 minutes. And to lead the way, Oscar Clough, 25 points tonight, and a double-double with 15 rebounds as well. 7 for 12 from the field, 1 for 1 from a three-pointer. That was an electric three-pointer there in the first half. 10 for 2 on free throws. The 15 rebounds I mentioned, 6 assists, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers in 25 minutes. As a team, the Jackrabbits shot 55.2%, 10 for 20 from 3, and 24 for 29 on free throws. Again, a final score, 98-85. Tonight's Military Appreciation Night, and they did not have attendance yet listed for this game, but it was a full one here tonight for sure. So again, that final score here tonight, 98-85. Looking at the Summit League scoreboard, these ones are pretty much all but done. Down in Vermilion, the Coyotes hosting the Kansas City Roos, 75-67. The score there with half a minute left to play in the second half. there. Ebon Coley, 13 points, 12 rebounds, a double-double for him on the night for KC, and then Bullock having 25 points, 6 steals for USD. Denver going to come out with the win, I believe. It's still, there's 3 seconds left. It's a 3-point game, but the Pioneers leading 66-63, make it 64 after Trayson Eaglestaff just hit a free throw there. 3 seconds left between the Pioneers and the Fighting Hawks. We might circle back around to that one, see if we can wait till that one is over. And then at halftime up in Fargo, again, this the one on national television, CBS Sports Network. North Dakota State trailing Oral Roberts at home, 43-39. The Golden Eagles with the lead over the Bison here tonight. Again, that one on CBS Sports Network if you are interested in that. 66-64, again, still the score for the Denver Pioneers and North Dakota Fighting Hawks game. And I believe Denver will get the win in that one. But make sure to check back later on that one because they might not. Coming up here for Jackrabbit Athletics, the softball team back out on the road again, heading down to the Lone Star State for the Whataburger Invitational in Stephenville, Texas. They start off tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. with a softball game against Akron. The men's basketball team, the baseball team, not as lucky. They get their games canceled against Murray State out in Kentucky, so they stayed in Brookings here this weekend. They'll have to wait another week to start their season off. The track and field team hosting the SDSU Indoor Classic here tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. on Friday, continuing into Saturday. The softball team going to be playing Austin Peay at the Whataburger Invitational at 4:45. And tomorrow night, right here at First Bank and Trust Arena at 7 p.m., wrestling against the Iowa State Cyclones. That one will be on Midcoast Sports Plus for your viewing pleasure, or right here at First Bank and Trust Arena. Then on Saturday, of course, the SDSU Indoor Classic, softball continuing against Houston Christian and Tarleton State, and women's basketball against USD. And to round things out on Sunday, Austin Peay again against softball, and the men's basketball team will be taking on South Dakota in Vermillion at 1 p.m. That one is available to listen to on the Jackrabbit Sports Network. But that's going to go ahead and do it for all of us here. Just a reminder, our next broadcast will be Saturday when the Jackrabbit women's team returns home to host the South Dakota Coyotes in the Interstate Series. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. at First Bank and Trust Arena and right here on Collegiate Sports, and Ben Anderson will be back to give you the call of that one. For all of us here at Collegiate Sports, I want to thank you for tuning in. For Ben Anderson, who couldn't be here tonight, I'm Braden Byers. Ben will talk to you again on Saturday. Until then, have a great rest of your Thursday.